What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Garage, the #1 live tuning show in the entire known universe. Happy New Year's, happy 2020, happy January 2nd, I guess. I don't even know what to say anymore. That being said, glad to see we've got some action in here already. A lot of familiar faces. Good to see everybody. John, Nick, D&Z Garage is back. Chris, what is going on, everybody? Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for all the... Do I have the drunk voice? I unplugged it and plugged it back in. Hey, Hillary, what's going on? Hey, Sam. You might be lagging, John. I don't know. You guys tell me. Is the audio messed up again? Damn straight, Daniel. Hey, brother, welcome back. It's been a while, brother. So, brand new year. More subscribers every day. It's awesome. Thank you to everybody that keeps on sharing the information out there. Really? Okay, hold on. Let's try this. Well, that's not on my end, Sean. I think. Maybe it is. Oh, yeah, sure enough, I hear it. That's weird. Oh, you know what? It's because my mouse is dying. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. Substitution. As I said, it's the, Okay. See if that fixed it. Should be the last time you get doobie-doo-doos. Seriously. Now let's see if I can get... Okay, now we're rocking and rolling. Hopefully that will not happen again. It would not be another episode of The Garage if we did not have some... You gotta be kidding me. Okay, how's that? Awesome. Brad, glad to hear new subscribers. Static sound and now no sound. Well, static sound because I was adjusting the microphone. It should be cleared up now. Right. Good to hear, John. Okay. Let's try this again. Static's still there. Well, let me get you further away from the laptop because the static's probably just the fan blowing. Hey, Michael, welcome. New subscriber, long-time listener. Appreciate it. What's going on, Lathan? Okay. Are we sounding all right? Okay. We're going to go with it from here. Put the counter down here so you guys can keep up. I've been sick all week, I tell you what now. I got you, John. Okay, cool. So, that being said, let me go ahead and do the shout out to the new patrons that are out there. Let's see who we've got. Jerry, Mike, Zach, Jimmy, Kevin, and Jake. If any of you are in the chat right now, make sure and speak up. Say, hey, I'm a new patron. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Garage. We appreciate your support. Couldn't do it without you guys. Couldn't do it without all the people that is in here right now participating. Thank you, everybody. All the new faces, all the old faces. Rocking and rolling. Okay, so let's get started. Let's talk about tuning. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about cars. Let's talk about tuning. Let's talk about 2020 goals. Obviously, my goal is to get a certain Cadillac running. One way or another. But I do have a Holly Terminator X on the way, which means it will run one way or the other, but I haven't given up on the E67 yet. I keep on finding more and more information about this stupid platform. It is such a weird bastard stepchild that, yes, everybody is just more power. More power. Bastard stepchild, man. It's literally, it's It's got like an 8x cam sensor on it with a 58x crank. There is some email tuning, Mr. Black. There is a few email tune spots that I have opened up. It's not something that I'm going to be doing a whole lot on. You can always go over to the GoatRoadGarage.com website to find out more details. And in fact, there is a 10% coupon on the YouTube page. If you go to the community, that would apply towards the email tuning. So you could save 10% off an email tune. That only lasts for a week. So it's also good for merch, decals, anything like that. If anybody wanting to pick up t-shirts, decals, you can get yourself a Bass In-Tune shirt or a Project Country Club shirt. So... Well, Nick, you did 12-3 at 120. You need to crack 11 threes or better next go. Man, a whole second is probably stretching it, brother. That's, you're a couple hundred horsepower off if you're wanting to peel a second off your quarter mile, man. John's wanting to get headers and axle back on the Camaro 1LE. Jim White says E67 NA swap to boost map table explained. Jim, give me a little more detail as far as what you want me to explain on the map table. Brian, you know, I have a hard time getting lambda stuff made because there's so many trademarks because of the Greeks. You know, the sororities and fraternities and jack, that stuff. Mike says, new to your channel on HP Tuners, while watching off your videos, talk to you about the point every time. My dad asked me what guy on YouTube has to say about it. Perfect, Mike. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by the live stream. Well, to give you an idea, Nick, I was running 11.9s at 124 with a pretty pissed off C6. So, and, that's a huge step. Getting down to low 11s, you're going to be in the 550 to 600 range probably. Or have some drag radials on. Hey, Zach. Thanks for signing up, brother. I called you out earlier. Zach Thomas here is one of our new patrons. Everybody tell Zach, hey, what is going on? Welcome to the family. John Jungle says, buddy, that tuned to D6 2014, so I sold it to a 23-year-old kid. The kid wants me a V8. Stop it. Should I push him that way or talk him into forced induction? There is no replacement for displacement, though, you know, turbocharged V6s can be fun also. 2020 goal for Sinister 7.3. Learn how to tune with HP Tuners. Well, you're at the right place. We're going to get it figured out. LS408. Nice. Oh, man, yeah. Well, S71s will look sweet on that setup, Nick. Plugged in the linear and offset, but my TSSB and VVE table still only shows 105. Okay, on the E67, your base OS, if it's not a boosted OS already, is only going to cap out at 105. You're going to have to use a custom OS. So go over to the OS tab in HP Tuners. You'll find a 2.5 bar. I think it's either 2 or 2.5 bar OS on there. You will apply that, save it, do a load all, you know, download full, and then it will give you resolution. Now be aware whenever you do that, it will have a blank spot in your VVE table that you will have to populate out for the new ranges on there. Check it out, Jim. If you have any issues, just hit me up. I can help you out with it. What's going on, Frank? Welcome back, brother. Daniel says his best 8th mile time was a 4:58 at 4:58 at 163, Danny. That is getting it. 4:34 small block. Really got that thing bored out, huh? Yeah, Jim, it should be going out to, you know, 210 or somewhere around there. Hey, Rob, welcome back, brother. Happy 2020 to you. Dylan, you're asking, do you have to tune like an NA with an LSA or like with turbo? Yeah, well, the steps are the same, regardless of your forced induction or not. You're just hitting different areas of the map because you got to realize on volumetric efficiency and even on mass airflow, we're measuring the amount of air the engine is breathing. You go forced induction, you're just adding more air. So we're, you know, in a whole new range. Chi-Town Gypsy ran 11:21 at 122. That is getting out of the hole. right there. Well, there you go, 1.5, 60 foot. Yeah, you had to have been on radials then. Woo, John's getting the 6.0 worked out. Awesome. Can't wait to follow up more on that, John. Keep us posted. Nick, tailor back some of your PIDs. You probably got too many on your log. If you start losing values on the scanner, it's because you have too many parameters being logged. Nick says, LS1 the long tubes, 2 sending everything way lean when closed loop turned on. Well, make sure that you've reset your long-term fuel trims because they most likely have old data in them. So you want to get that stuff cleared out. Even if your headers were cooking trans wires, it wouldn't be causing what you're seeing there, Nick. That is weird that you're showing 20K on your method idle. You've got something weird going on. Try doing a full download again. Steve Bruce, yes, send me the Barra ECU tune over to the info at Goat Rope Garage email address, please. I would love to check out a Barra tune. What's going on, Paul? Welcome back, brother. Richard Smith says, what would make the scanner read different than the gauge? My gauge reads 0.91. My scanner is reading 1.18. Richard, are you using analog by chance instead of serial? Hey, Randy, welcome back, everybody. Lowbuck LS has graced us. Give him a shout. Say hey. Glad to see him back on the YouTubes. He's been busy here towards the end of last year, but he's back now. Bike Boy says, is there a reason why G8 shows injector duty cycle and my LS swapped E40 does not? Biker Boy, you want to look for, hell no, guys, I'm drawing a blank here. Not duty cycle, but what's the other one that you calculate duty cycle from? Pulse width. You want to have injector pulse width, Biker Boy, you can use pulse width. There is built-in math in the scanner that will convert it over to duty cycle based on RPMs. That's what I like to hear, Don. I'll race you to 1,000. Hey, Steven. Welcome to the live chat. It's pretty good, Sam. 1265 at 110. I mean, that counts. Still pretty good 60 foot because that sounds like you're on a street tire. Hey, Smith. Welcome back, brother. Good to see you. For now, Jim, we will get you faster. What is going on, Brandon? Working on a 6.0. And Darren Sims, if you're in here, thank you for the joining up on the Patreon, brother. Brandon, we're on 6.0 LQ9 mild cam 202.212 with the Joe Gibbs Magnuson charger. And my VE tables are numbered in a stock tune for factory LQ9. Why? That does not make sense, Brandon. Have you changed the injectors on it, though? Hey, Jorge, what's going on, brother? You speaking of, Jorge. We've gotten through it in the past. Yeah, Nick, try deleting just maybe 5 PIDs out of there, and that'll probably, fix you up. Jim, are you asking what's the difference between duty cycle and pulse width? Yeah, exactly. At this point in time, you probably don't need no count on each cylinder. Oh, yeah, that's a good point that Straight Dumb brings up. Because of your cam and the overlap on it, you might be having a little less compression on there. But the fact that you've got a Magnuson charger, how many PSI are you running on it? That doesn't make any sense. Frank Sotomayor asks, 453NA, what should I make the low octane table? How much timing difference from the high octane table? Frank, wouldn't go probably more than 6. I mean, unless you're going to run into the situation. Are you running 93 on it? No, you're good, Zach. Don't worry about it if anything gets repeated, man. Yeah, John, that was a good video, and I was thankful for Nick for allowing me to share it because we touched on some very good information on there. Hey, Tim, what's going on? Welcome to the live show. Hey, Andrew. Tried to install a 4-bar map, change the characteristics for a map linear and offset, and the truck didn't like it at all. And these were the values that were provided with it, Andrew. Hey, Anthony, welcome back, brother. Yeah, it's interesting, Brandon. There's no telling. I mean, you should not be running less. I mean, you obviously should be getting more air in there. There's got to be something weird going on. But being that those are calculations based off of calculations, you know. Thanks, Jorge. Appreciate it. Yeah, Paul, you could. If you make changes to the table, then you decide that you want to adjust the zones, copy the table that you have in place. Whenever you go and click on the zones option, it wipes out everything that you've done in there unless you've calculated the zones. Now, if you've already calculated them, that's fine, but if you do what I often do where I go in and paste that stuff in and I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted to shit that one zone around idle or something, I always forget it. Yeah. You're right. They are the worst thing about virtual volumetric efficiency. They're not very well set up in HP tuners. Yeah. Well, Brandon, you can do that, or you can just join up on the Patreon and you can do it over email if you want to learn how to tune on your own. Hey, VJ, what's going on? Yeah, straight done. That's the weird thing is the first time, well, I take that back. We didn't edit everything in that cell the first time because we did not shift. A lot of times I'll go over on the second row, copy it, move over to the first row because you never get into the first row and that helps with some zone transitional stuff. I think that may have been what's happening. So if you have an untouched cell in there that is wonky, it will do some weird stuff. I don't think Blue Cat has updated that, Nick. You can possibly use it, but you have to copy and paste all the coefficients in, if I remember correctly, because it won't read them out of the tune anymore. I think HP tuners went out of their way to break that. And then I know that for a while it was causing bad data to get pushed back into the coefficients, which then caused a couple ECMs to break. Smith, I have not messed with decapped injectors, but there's some people in here that are running decapped injectors. I personally not a huge fan with decapped injectors. I understand the theory behind it. The idea that it should be fine, but you just got to think that it's got to mess up the spray pattern. Michael says he's doing math tuning, VED, FTO, and PE disabled. I keep getting jumps in my EQ error, i.e. first log shows 0.5 to 1. After adding 1% multiplied by 1.01 to that cell, I get... What's your platform, Michael? Anthony says, I was wanting to touch base with you about what kind of logs you like to see to start. I'm having some weird boot cut, like it's not reading the map correctly. Are the right settings for the map? I just like to see general logs because as long as it has base parameters in there, I think I can get an idea of what's going on with the vehicle. Kind of helps just get a feel for it. So driving around normally with some idle, some slow acceleration, some harder acceleration if you're possible without doing any kind of damage, things like that. And then you just kind of scrub through and look for, there's always like a few things that will pop out. The more you look at logs, you'll start seeing some of the stuff, these things. So Michael, you're doing virtual volumetric efficiency, and that's why if you've got to edit more than just one cell, because whenever you edit a cell, it then has to, you've got a whole bunch here. You know what? Give me a second. Let me open up the tune screen. Let's just take a look at it. We'll talk about some of this stuff. Yeah, and that's something I'd be afraid of. Smith, knowing Lowbug, probably built his own flow bench. Yeah, man. I hear you there, Anthony. Yeah, I'll be doing high flow cats on my setup for a while at least. Okay, let me see. It's been a while since we've had the tune screen opened up. I don't even know if it'll work. Hey! It sort of works. Told you. I've been disappointed if you hadn't. Hold on, I'm trying to figure this thing out. This setup is a pain in the butt. Sorry, guys. I've got to figure out something better for going to the tune screen. So, let's see here. How do I add a window? Screen, window. Boom. Okay. Should be seen. It's very, very small here. Now I gotta remember how to make it bigger. Whoop. Okay. So, whenever you come here, look, this is terrible. Oh, this is my tune. So I can call this one terrible. Burley Brown, the repository in HP Tuners, is you have to go and log in, and then there'll be a link in your profile to the tune repository. So if you come in here and make an adjustment to a cell, first let's talk about zone numbers. These are the zone numbers. If you've seen me talk about it, heard me talk about it specifically, we've got 29 zones on most platforms. And the size of the zone determines the resolution of that zone. So whenever you have a zone that is, like this one is a 3x4 zone, this is a high resolution zone. We get out to the higher RPMs, resolution is not quite there in this range. That's because we're not changing as fast through this, the response is not as quick. So we can have these larger zones. The transition is not as abrupt. But down here where there's a lot of throttle action going on, we have to have higher resolution zones. But that's not where the issue comes in. The issue comes in on transitions. So let's have some fun here. So I'm going to add 10% to this area because it's bad. Actually, I can add 1% like we were talking about. Now, here's where it gets fun. If I calculate that, it changes the whole zone. So this actually shifted up because of the calculation that we did. I added 1% to it, but it ended up adding an additional 4%. No problem, Zeth. Appreciate you stopping in, brother. It added an additional 4% to this zone, while at the same time it ruined everything else in this zone. So not necessarily ruined, but it changed it. And that's because this is just a giant math parameter. If you come back in here, look at your airflow and go into speed density, we are actually just changing these coefficients. In fact, there's one that we just changed right there. That, unless you are an engineer, doesn't make any sense to you because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6th order polynomial math. So that is why whenever for it to calculate this, and look how far this is off now. So this was an 1861 and now it's a 0.0610. That math is now ruined. And that's why transitions are very important. That's why zones are very important. And sometimes you have to go in, make adjustments throughout the zones, because you will have hard transitions across zones that will not work. Okay. Boom. So, where are we at here? Hey, Casey, welcome back, man. You're damn right, John. Dirt floor here, the party has started. Hey, Bill, welcome back, man. Man, the audio may be wonky. I think I'm having some connection issues where it's dropping in and out. And this is beyond algebra, John. This is calculus. Maybe beyond calculus. Hey, we just hit 70. Good number. Michael, DVE should not be affecting your math tuning. Are you having issues with math tuning also? Don't use smoothing, man. Smoothing will ruin you. I just scrolled up to see that you said that you'd been using smoothing. Smoothing is terrible. In and out. I think it's about time to dump this piece of crap, Mike. Sorry, guys.
Why? Okay. That's weird. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I think I see what's going on. Let me do this. I think my correct microphone is working. Hello, hello. Why is that still? Okay, you shouldn't be able to hear me now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I deleted my microphone. And it's much better. I don't know, guys. Okay. Hey, we're only on what, episode 22? We'll figure this out one of these days. Perfect. Math is where the issue. I'm trying to tune for math first, but by adding 1% fuel in an area of the table, I'm going from 0.5 or +1 all the way to -6. Adding 1% should not be taking you to negative, though. And that's just by adding, or are you smoothing after that? Exactly, Brandon. Delete the mic, and it works better. Bingo. Delete tune to tune car. That's basically what I've been doing on the Cadillac lately. Nah, scuba the Sam, that's not bad. I generally like to go in on my zones and keep higher resolution through the area that you actually hit. And then some of the areas where you're on decel or something like that, I'll make those zones very big. Yeah, Andy, go check out Lowbuck LS's channel. He's got some good videos on Gen 3 idle tuning with the IAC stuff. Randy, if you're in here, drop a link. We'll approve it so people can click it. Can you explain exactly what the force motor does in the trans table? I have no clue, Bill. I would have to look at the trans tables to figure out what the hell you're even talking about. I don't do much on the transmission side. I mean, I just firm up the shifts and make it shift a little bit quicker and call it good. Anthony, that's once again is going to have to be another question for Randy because I've not tuned any Gen 3s in so long, and I've never done auto tuning on Gen 3s. There you go. Thank you, Zeph. Don't forget to link yours at the end of the night, too, brother. Adding 1% to a lean area and using interpolate. Seems like it's going way more rich than it should. Oh, I got you. I got you. It's going -6 in log is in 6% rich. I thought you were telling me it was going 6% lean whenever you were adding to it, Michael. Sorry. I was not following along. Sometimes I'm slow. Yeah, I'm not sure why I would be doing that. It should not be doing that. You're right, and it should be shifting you about to the other side of it. That being said, if you are at plus or minus zero point 0.5, man, leave it be. You're trying too hard. You're never going to get closer than that. You're not going to get to 0. There's too many dynamics that change every time you go out that will keep that thing from ever reading perfect. Brian Allen, you mentioned slowly adding time into the table until I start seeing some knock. Seems like some of my cells are maxed. I get the error that says it's over the max amount. Still not getting knock. Brian, you need to look at some of your supplementary Spark tables to make sure that they're not pulling timing where you don't want them to. So if you go into Spark and look at things that are based off of IET and ECT, see how aggressive they are and maybe dial some of them back. Because, to be honest with you, let's see here. This is probably not the best litmus test, but I mean, this table goes up to 64 degrees of timing. Surely you're not running 64 degrees of timing. Jorge, it's all right to be OCD to a point, but you got to know whenever you're going to get as good as it can be good. That's interesting, Michael. That is interesting. Yeah, Smith Tuning is saying you probably have a. Thank you, Nicholas D. Have a smoky burnout for the Zone Boundaries Fund. We are starting a new fundraiser to adopt all zone boundaries and then put them to sleep. Hey, John. At least you made it, brother. Nick, we could dive into the TCM. It's not. There's stuff that you can do to help that are just general transmission tuning stuff. You don't want to get too lost off into the woods. Transmissions are not as receptible to tuning a lot of times. Because, I don't know, there's something about it. If you start getting kind of off the end of the transmission stuff, they can start running really bad and start damaging themselves. So, said, firm up the pressure a little bit. Maybe change lock-up stuff so it's not locking up as much whenever you're accelerating. And then, you're right, Paul. I'm getting ready to have no zones. Hey, Rotary Turbo. SC3800 V6. You need a North Star for that SC3800. You need a North Star throttle body Rotary Turbo. I've got an extra one. Hey, Jeremy. Welcome back. You were right, John. Dude, I'm obsessed. I spent so much time lately just looking at junkyard motors. What am I thinking of here? I'm trying to figure out. Hold on a second here. Let me see. 76 viewers. Good turnout tonight. Man, 2020 starting out strong. in the world? Do. Doxed amongst yourself. I'm looking something up here. No, I was in the right place. Something's changed. Something doesn't look right. There we go. I was in the wrong place. LM7 is 74 Datsun 620. Jeremy, get it. 79. Are we going to break 80 tonight? Oh my goodness. No, got too close. Got too close. Got scared. Got scared. 80 was too much. Might have broke the stream. Zach's asking about logs. Long story short, had to cut my Y pipe off to pull the transfer rebuild. Haven't welded it back yet. I got a bunch of logs since. I mean, I probably wouldn't use them. I would wait till I had logs with the system, how it's going to be, but what is going on here? What is happening? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Bingo. Rock and roll. Yeah. Oh man, front pump seal. Well, at least that one's not too hard to get to. You don't have to drop the transmission. Yeah, 325 Sonoma on the 5th gens. I wouldn't take all the torque management out, man. It's not as violent on those as it was on the 4th gens. In fact, there's guys that are ripping down into the low 9s with torque management untouched on the transmission. What are you maxing out at, Brian? Did you say? I may have missed it. Of course, here comes all the barf. Yeah, Randy, you're right with the trans pressure. I barely bump it up myself, so. Get it, get it, get it. For 5th gen torque management tuning, are you talking about torque management, Sam, or torque tuning? I mean, it's two completely different things. Dude, John, that'd be badass. All-wheel drive LS powered Datsun pickup. That would be scary, though. Ooh, Antivenom. Nice snag. $500 for a 13.53. Make sure you can get into torque management stuff, Sam. Just make sure that you've got your virtual torque stuff dialed out first. Well, Anthony, you got that sweet CTSV. You gotta use it, brother. Hillary with If It's Scary, It's Fun. Brandon, Tito's is what I drink, but I don't drink on school nights. I gotta work in the morning. I can't have just one, so they say. Yeah, Jeep guys are notoriously crazy, though. Andrew, you're going to have to sell all your LS stuff just to afford the fuel injectors for your Gen 5 motor. Well, you're right, Smith Tuning. The problem is people have a tendency to overshoot it a little bit too much, and then it just makes it almost unbearable to drive. Mr. Black, I'm an automation engineer. I do automation programming as a regular job. .325 Sonoma. I think that's what I'm going to end up going with is the 4L60 also because they are easy to build, and I think they're probably about the easiest to swap in on a C6 platform. See, Andrew, that's a steal. Ugh, God, those high-pressure fuel pumps are so expensive. Yes, sir, Brandon, like a SCADA guy. No problem, John. That's what I'm here for, brother. Burley says, I've got a Gen 3 with stock regulated fuel setup with a return line. What's the max that it will handle? Got a temporary inline fuel pump that's pushing around 100 psi. I have no clue. Let me know if you figure it out, though. Yeah, I don't think that the 4L80 quite fits without a lot of modifications because of the way that the transmission is situated between the differential and the torque tube. I could probably buy multiple 4L60s for the price of one 4L80 and the parts required to shoehorn it in there. That's what we've got to be aware of. Whew, 59 degrees is way too high, Brian. What are you? What engine are you on? You another one of these weird third gen 6 liters? Is it with you guys running 60 degrees of timing? Durfloor, I've already thought about switching over. Whenever I was still doing a lot of stuff on the truck, I was looking into going into port injection and doing away with direct injection, or doing port injection as auxiliary injection. So I was looking for auxiliary injection controllers and stuff like that, and basically was going to run a secondary ECM as a piggyback. Zach says, on HP Tuners, can't get a clear answer. In the spark menu on my 2014 Silverado 5.3, there's an option for multiple spark pulses. Any thoughts on this? Plugs are actually made for more than one spark. Well, yeah. If plugs were only made for one spark, we'd burn them up every time we crank the car. I'm just kidding with you, man. You know what, Zach? It's nothing I've ever messed with. I'm sure that, 90% of the tables in HP Tuners you don't ever have to touch. So, yeah, there you go, Brett. That's what it is the bell housing then. So they have to cut the bell housing off and then machine in an adapter. I knew it was a lot more expensive for the 4L80. Dude, that's $2,000 for injectors, Andrew. That is mind-blowingly crazy. So you're talking about $3,500 for injectors in a high-flow fuel pump. Smith, I have not played with those, but I was looking at them the other day. So I was literally digging into it. I don't know why. I'd stumbled across the Dakota Digital VSS stuff. Anytime you have some kind of piggyback module like that, it's a pain in the butt. Casey, I'm talking about you, weren't you? Yeah, exactly. 6 liters running 60 degrees of time in advance. J Mike says, I'm trying to get the math and timing dialed in on my Gym 353. As soon as I crank, the RPM shoots up and stays there for a second. Also does on quick throttle snaps. It just hangs. Throttle follower. J Mike, disable it. Screw you, straight dumb, but you are correct. Next time I'll get an 07. We would be supercharged already if I bought a damned 07. Yeah, 92 LSC Kid, that book is awesome. In fact, I need to start brushing up on. Hey, Alien Tech, what's going on? Glad you made it, man. You missed your shout out earlier whenever I was shouting out the new patrons. Dylan, get the standard for now. Don't get the pro because the pro's a ripoff. The only thing the pro adds is the analog inputs. So $150 for analog inputs. In fact, I'm going to organize a sit-in on the forums where we all get together and just go and post when's the pro features coming out. Have a good one, 325. Dan says the newer 80s are like the 60s where the bell housing bolts on. 6L80. Gotcha. Yeah, no. Not the 4Ls, though, right? He ran out of fuel with those. That's mind-blowing. Nice, Casey. Woodleaf Hobbies. Let me grab it. It's over here. This one. I've got a video out on this one. How to build and modify GM LS series engines by Joseph Potek. I have a video. Let me find it. I'll just link you to the video where I go in and I show you pictures. And dude, it's awesome for the LS series motors. It goes so in depth. Has all kinds of specs and stuff on it. Really big fan of what's going on. Yeah, I personally use the serial one. It works great. Here it is. Let me grab this link. Okay. There you go, Woodleaf. That is the link to the book that I was talking about. It's really good. It's worth honestly, it is worth the money. It's 20 or 25 bucks, Hillary. And, I mean, if you're going to crack open a LS motor, Gen 3 all the way, I mean, this doesn't really have Gen 5 stuff, but it's not that different. But especially if you're doing Gen 3 and Gen 4 stuff, yes. So worth it. So worth it. Really good book. And then Jeremy says he's got one about swapping LSs also. I'll have to look into that one, Jeremy. Maybe I'll do a review on that one, but this is the best automotive book I've probably bought ever. So. Yeah, Jim, it's all right if they eventually roll out these features, but if they don't even talk about it nowadays. If somebody asks whenever a feature's coming out, specifically like the tuning on the device without having to have the laptop set up, like they don't even respond anymore. And it's annoying that they're asking $150 for a dongle. You're getting the $35 dongle, and then they just flip a switch on your software and you resync your interface, and it allows the dongle to work. And that's all it is. $150 for that. It's a crime. Cool, Jeremy. I mean, everything's getting a little dated nowadays. We're going to move past. Is it 250? I thought it was only 150. Good Lord, it's an even bigger theft at 250. Brian, my guess is at 59 degrees, you are past max brake torque on that. So just be aware. Well, yeah, well, I did the trade-in, John, but the trade-in's not worth it either. You don't get anything out of it. Like, there's no reason. They are trying to get rid of the MPVI ones because of the fact that somebody cracked their security on it and found out a way to write multiple tunes to different vehicles without having to buy credits. And so they rolled out a new firmware update to basically, stop that from happening. And then they started doing this MVPI2 stuff. They rolled it out a year too early. Woodleaf, I do not have any books that I would recommend for tuning because they're all crazy priced. There might be some other people that can speak to certain books on here, but Woodleaf, I will leave it at that. There you go, Joan. If I would have had an MPVI 1 Pro, I wouldn't have upgraded. If I'd been smart, I would have done more research on the MPVI 2, what the Pro feature set was, because I thought it was more than just the analogs. There you go, brother. Well, Andrew, what's wrong with upgrading your end tank? Ah, nice. Yeah, I noticed where somebody was trying to figure out if they could find old version of the software, and they poo-pooed that pretty quick. Oh, sorry. Here. Let's pick a winner. What do you say? Sean Bramhall. Congratulations, Sean. He whose name shall not be talked, he shall not be spoken, Voldemort. You guys missed all the fun Greg Banish drama back in the day. Some of you were here for some of it. Sean, do me a favor and drop me an email. See, you're really stoked about this. Sean, do me a favor and drop me an email reminding me, because I'll forget if you don't. Was he 92? I'll have to go out and, I guess, listen to it maybe. I don't really care. That guy's a douchebag. I gave him the opportunity to be a nice community member, and his response was to try and sell his videos on my website, which really pissed me off. And they're not that good. Jeremy, basically, we're giving away some decals and stuff like that, so I like to, I mean, you can't really see it because it gets washed out, but I've got decals and koozies that I raffle off. I've been doing, oh, I'm sure it did 92. I don't think he likes me. I'm fine with that. I can't blame him if he doesn't like me because I'm cutting into his bottom line. I'm giving away a lot of information for free, so. Brandon, you know, if I ever get around to doing another impromptu on Saturday nights, you might be able to get me to talk into it, but the guy's smart, and I've never said that he's not smart. It's just his attitude towards the community that I don't like. What's going on, James? As I said, it was more of the, you know, he was trying to flex his big brain, and I said, hey, by all means, share the information. And it was like, well, I've already gotten a video, and you can buy it for $45, and I'm like, GTFO, bro. Like, you're the reason that everything that is wrong with this tuning community. You're the people that want to lord this information over and charge $2,000 for a 2-day class and that people can't digest your information from. So, but that's it. I'm done talking about it. I'm not better. Nick, I do not know. Sean, are you having the same issue? Bingo, Brandon. No, not Matt Happel. I like almost everybody in the tuning community. We're talking about Banish, James. Okay, there you go. Straight dumb. Same situation. I wonder why that is. Bingo. Greg costs a lot. It's one way to put it. That's a very interesting situation that we're having to know, like forcing open loop on the later generation stuff is not working. They're hard to digest though, James. I've seen some of his videos. And it's just, you know. Yeah, this is your fault, Rotary Turbo. That's what you get coming in here and stirring up crap. Yeah, you can do that, Nick. That's one way of doing it. Have a good night, Scuba Sam. Good to see you again, brother. Oh, it is 8:57. We need to probably wrap up. Glad to hear it, James. That's the whole purpose. No, I mean, you're going to throw a check engine light. That'll be about it. Dylan, which wideband are you using that you have to wire up to an OBD2 port? Yeah, I try to keep this. I know I talk fast. That's my biggest problem. I zip through things, and I know people complain about it, but at the same time, I try not to put out 30-minute long videos. And I need to get back and I've got a new test and tune video coming out here soon. And then I've got a very cool video about doing Dylan, I'll link you a video for how I have it set up through Serial. So I got a video about setting up a tune for the Holly. Since we'll be diving into the Holly, it's pretty easy. I was rather surprised. A lot of this stuff you can basically copy over from your HP Tuners file. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be the good life. Or you can do what Sean does. You can get the 3334 and do it through the OBD2 port, which it just plugs in. Or I use the serial version. And it costs about $15 worth of extra stuff to get what you need to hook it up through serial. Not all else, kid. Plug away, man. I appreciate you asking. In fact, I don't care. You guys can plug everybody else's stuff. Don Lasota, GM EFI tuning guide for HP tuners. Cool. Dude, Dirtfloor, what do you have? The Dominator or the EFI? Because it's all in the link, Dylan. If you go to that video down in the description, I'll talk about everything. I'll check it out, 92. Man, my Terminator X, I didn't see a wizard. Hold on, I'm opening it up. We're going a little bit overtime here. Would you do it on create new global file? Man, you better do a video for me. Oh, yeah, I didn't get the handheld, man. I ain't paying $250 for that thing. Because I'm a cheapskate. How about you just send me yours? I'll borrow it. 24-hour Intune. That's pushing it. It's pushing it. Okay, yeah, let's wrap it up, guys. It is 9:01. Awesome, Michael. Thanks for chiming in there. Man, you guys are awesome. Low buck. I bought the one with drive-by-wire, so I think I paid $1,200. So that was the big thing. I bought it without trans control and without the display because I was just going to use the software. Nah, Zeth, you don't have to do that, brother. I'm going to just do it all through the software side. The software it makes it all straightforward, as I said, if you're doing something that you have a platform on. I promise, guys, I will try and do an impromptu this weekend. I've been sick, and so that's why I didn't do one last weekend. I've been going to bed at like 9 o'clock at night and stuff like that. I really want to do an impromptu because we haven't done one in a couple months. But that being said, happy 2020, everybody. Happy 2020. And keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, John, keep your eyes peeled for the Terminator video. It'll be out this weekend probably. I've got another one where we tested the new throttle trim stuff. And I don't know that it works. So, everybody, you're the greatest. ABT, always be tuning. Thanks for stopping by the garage. Here, let me see if I can shut this down. I'll see you guys this weekend, maybe.